News at Saxavord Spaceport in Europe. RFA sets a launch window for his RFA One. Starbase was focusing on his flame trench number 2. Launches of the week. Hi everyone, I'm Christophe Paget from All About Space, and this is your space update. This week was a rather slow week where many people were on holiday, so I thought I would catch up with some news from a couple of weeks ago. Europe recently saw an ISA aerospace flight attempt at Andøya Spaceport in Norway. Another European spaceport is ready to support the launch of other rocket companies, Saxavord Spaceport in the north of Shetland Islands, somewhere between Scotland and Norway. Our brilliant colleagues from NASA Spaceflight have interviewed Debbie Strong, the Director of Facilities at Saxavord. The interview was over an hour, but I will summarize the most important points to draw. We all know that the British weather can be temperamental, and Saxavord weather may be windy, yes, which allows the sky to be cleared relatively often, and moreover, it never snows, therefore offering a similar amount of launch windows as at Cape Canaveral according to the past 10 years worth of weather data. Now they have agreements for 3 launch pads, and one is already exclusive to RFA, already set up with its own assembly facility. Another one is being built right now at the very end of the island, but would support the needs of 2 additional companies, UK's Orbex and Germany's High Impulse. Now, the team at Saxavord are considering building 2 different assembly facilities to support such traffic. Debbie has also mentioned they have received requests for launching rockets from Saxavord, and we'll see how to support these needs in the coming month. NASA Spaceflight has continued their streak with another interview, this time with Stefan Brischenk, COO of Rocket Factory Augsburg, or RFA. The interview was 1.5 hours long, so once again, let me summarize it for you. The version of RFA One to be used on the maiden flight is actually a shortened version of the RFA One, meaning that the capability of the one to be launched this year is only 500 kg of payload on LEO, compared to the one planned shortly after of 1.5 tons of payload on LEO 2. Stefan calls that version the minimum viable rocket version of RFA One, a clue about their business case. The design was the result of a complex optimization tool with the sole objective of manufacturing a cheap rocket, both recurring and non-recurring costs, for the given dynamic loading and payload mass. The tool also dictated the best choice of engine to use, a stage combustion engine, where exhaust gases from a preburner are fed into the main combustion chamber, improving fuel efficiency, a first in Europe. The second stage was already in Saxavord last year, ready for launch, but after the issue met on the first stage, RFA found some further improvements to be implemented on both stages, hence the second stage was returned to RFA, as you could see in the background behind Stefan on the footage. Stefan explained that to keep your rocket size small, you need to have 3 stages. Stefan explained that their ambition is to use the third stage after releasing its payloads as a satellite with a customer payload in it, but also intend to use it for debris removal. They will attempt to recover the rocket first stage on their third flight or later, as they are focusing right now to get to orbit. They have decided to protect their secret on how they will recover their rocket first stage for the time being. So keep watching this channel and I will let you know whenever it is available. They have also understood the reason their turbopump failed on the launch pad in Saxavord last year, an issue born from a couple of events previously unseen. The engines will be sent to Sweden for testing. The first stage will be sent in May to Saxavord without the engines, and both will be assembled in Saxavord by July. Stefan believes RFA will be ready to launch RFA One within 6 to 8 months. At Starbase, the week started with the rollout of the Deluge system for the launch pad number 2 and installed on the flame trench. Well, that was just half of it, and the second half shortly followed. You could see from this aerial shot the frame where the Deluge system was installed, just to show you the infrastructure placed for supporting the Deluge system. The rest was pretty standard. I mean, the Starship number 35 received his aft flaps, readying for the next flight tests paired with Booster 14. The Starship number 36 is progressing, albeit slowly, and plenty of parts manufacturing are going on inside the Star Factory. Well, a standard week in Starbase. April 12th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from California for its mission Enroll 192 with the 9th batch of SpaceX and Northrop Grumman built Starshield satellites. Now, the first stage flew for the 24th time and landed on the drone ship Of Course I Still Love You. April 13th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from Florida for a Starlink mission Group 1217. The first stage flew for the 10th time and landed on the drone ship A Shortfall of Gravitas. April 14th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from Florida with another Starlink mission Group 673. The first stage flew for the 27th time and landed on the drone ship Read Instructions. April 16th, Northrop Grumman launched a Minotaur 4 rocket from California for its military mission Enroll 174. Now, the payload is confidential, and it is the first time I mention this Minotaur 4 rocket because its last flight was 5 years ago. In summary, from January 1st until April 17th, 2025, 77 rockets were launched successfully. Out of that, 50 were from an American company or institution. I leave you this week with a recent picture from the James Webb Space Telescope of a rare cosmic phenomenon called an Einstein ring in the Hydrus constellation. What at first appears to be a single, strangely shaped galaxy is actually two galaxies that are separated by a large distance. Now, the closer foreground galaxy sits at the center of the image, while the more distant background galaxy appears to be warped around the closer galaxy, forming a ring. Now, this type of galaxy alignment is particularly useful when researching galaxies which are too faint and distant to otherwise see. This picture is part of a survey led by Guillaume Mallet at University of Liège in Belgium and a team of international astronomers. Thank you for watching your channel All About Space. See you at the next episode of Space News.